Alrighty guys, this is Chris with KFCHEsports and wanted to give you a quick rundown on how to choose a car for a class and get a real quick tune on it to get it to where you're running and going pretty quick. Basically, this will work with any class, whether you're using assists or not. You just have to fine tune it to make it work exactly for you. I'm doing this unscripted, so just want to go through this, get you guys an opportunity to see things. If you don't get enough of this video to see everything, we'll also have this over on our YouTube channel as well, and that's also under KFCH Esports. Alright, so basically the first thing you want to do, choose a class and a track you want to look at. Once you've decided that you want to build, then what you want to do is you want to go to the rivals and take a look at the leaderboards for that track. Kind of across the board, if you want a track and car setup that generally will work well just about everywhere, I like to take a look at Virginia's full track. That seems to be a excellent place, and you get a little bit of everything. You get those long straightaways, so that you can get your gearing set up right, and you also get a lot of curves to make sure that you have your handling going well as well. All right, so let's go ahead and we will take a look at what cars you want to run with. Spot in A class on this track. Let's see, Wicked Fury's got the Ford 73 Escort. Actually have a pretty good mix up there now. One of the cars that does do very well in the leaderboards, and it looks like what they may have done is, and I know that they were going to disqualify some cars. The Exocet is a fantastic car to run on these tracks. So I'm going to look at my friends list. Looks like Shazat has a 2000 Nissan Silvia. Showdown has his Ford GT40 Mark I. Mike and I just built that car. Excuse me. And I know it's pretty fast. And then we've got an A86. Shiz and Liberal Hater are the same people. One's his computer account, one's his Xbox account. He's really fast with that Chevy C4. I did the Scirocco and did pretty decent with it. And then King had his Toyota A86. So I think what I'm going to do is we are going to go ahead and go in here, and we're going to grab that 92 Toyota. I know I don't have it. So let's take a look here. We'll go back to the buy cars. Bounce our way over to the Toyota. Here we are. And we are looking for that 92 Supra. There we are. There's a Celica. Alright, so that's the 92 Toyota Supra. I'm going to make sure I don't have another one there. Okay. Let's go ahead and buy it. Never been a fan of red, simply because I hate Ferrari. And we're going to buy this car. Alright, and now we want to do the upgrade and tune. And this is, and I forget which gentleman I found it on. There's a guy that has a Meta tune on YouTube, and we've done a whole bunch of testing on it, and it does seem to work really well across the board for all cars. So we'll go ahead and we're going to use that. It's also something that I know off the top of my head that I can do real quick. So to start with doing the build, One of the things I always want to do, and my group has started doing, is where we will choose whatever engine makes the car the lightest. And I think 3206 versus 3190. I think we're going to go ahead and go with 3.2 liter. That's going to give us a pretty light car, as well as pretty solid performance. So we'll choose that. I like the body kits on my cars, although gotta say that really didn't do a whole lot. Here's what I will always do, just because it's one of the lightest ones, is grab the speed lines. And then what I will also do is look for what I generally prefer to go to 19-inch if it leaves enough rubber. Looks like that one's going to. So I'm going to go 19 on front and rear. The tire compound, depending on what you're building your car for, and the theories. Normally, this is just going to be a car that you're going to try to go for rivals with, you'll want to go with race, or if it's a car that you're just doing short races with, you want to go with race tires. If you are doing any of the longer race series, and you want to try to avoid pit stops, you'll want to put it on sports, and sometimes even street tires. But we're going to go with race. We'll set this up for the short tracks and for rivals, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll max out both front and rear. Platform and handling, we'll go to race on brakes, race on shocks, front anti-rolls. We will max out our weight reduction for now. Reinforcement, now I like to go with the sport. If you go with the full roll cage, an awful lot of cars blocks your view. And so myself as well as some of the other guys that I race with have gotten where we just do the sport setup just so we don't have visibility issues. Alright, and we will now, the next thing you want to go with for the engine is your exhaust and your air filters, because what that'll do is that'll also lower your weight. So we've got this car down to right around 3,000 pounds. It's already at 429 horsepower, and we will take a look at what we can get away with on the supercharger. This is the next thing that gives you the biggest boosts. So this and the camshafts. This will get you, let's see, going to the sport will get you to 465. If you go back out, you go to your camshaft. You get to 480. But we've got to lose a little bit or add a little bit of weight to get down to the 700. For now, let's take a look at what we can do if we can get it up to that 480 or not. Let's see. So with the Momos, that still leaves me at 701. Let's go back to their speed lines. Did that have me at 702? So what we will do, oops, excuse me. First thing we'll do is let's change that drive line. Okay, that did not get us down far enough. So we will do our wheels. And you can go down. A lot of it's trial and error at this point to get to something that's going to get you the correct weight. Those get us close. Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead, those get me to 701. Let's see if the cutting back, there we go. Alright, and cutting back on that, that gets us to our 700. Alright, so that is our initial engine and tune setup. Not super happy at having this at 3080 for weight, but for now it's going to do. So we'll go ahead, we'll get the car points. And let's go into our tuning. So like I said, I'm going to go with the Meta tune that I found on YouTube. I do have my own modifications that I like to do to it at this point. We'll start out with tire pressure. We'll start at 29. And then what I'm looking to do is I'm going to watch that 100 mile per hour to 0 mark. And we're going to go going down, didn't do any good, but let's see. Going up to 29.5 got us to 248.5. 30 got us down to 248. 247 at 31. Okay, we'll leave that front tire at 31 pounds. We'll see if we can make any improvements on the rear. Going up did not. And going down did not. Alright, so gearing, this is another thing that we've been playing with recently. You want to max out your final drive, make it as low as you can. And then what I like to do is I will come down, and for A class, you probably pretty much want the car to run 165-ish. So we'll go ahead and we'll reduce 6th gear to get our top speed to that 165 mark. Going to get us 170 there. 167 is probably as close as we're going to go. And then what I'll look at is my shift speed, and I want to set those probably about 20 to 25 difference between the two. So since I've got 59 for my 6th gear, we'll go 39 for starters on 5th. We'll going anywhere from 2 to 1.8 usually, and then you want that rear about 5 difference. So we'll drop that down to 1.3. We'll crank our front caster all the way up to 7. Basically that decides on how forgiving your car will be. Now, this is one of the things that for me is a new change that I made with this setup, is going to max these anti-roll bars out. I bring my front down to 38.5 and leave the back at 40, and I will adjust that from the get-go, or adjust that as I go. We'll hop back on here, and basically what we want to do on our springs is drop them down to 150, down from where Forza naturally gives it to you. So we will drop that down to, so let's say 670, and then drop it down to 570 for the fronts. And let's see, for the rear, we'll go 550 on that. Ride height, minimize both. I usually go back up about 3 ticks because I like to have the extra side bite. Bump stiffness, the recommendation was to go to 4.9. I like to go to 5.2. And as much as it doesn't make a lot of sense, doing them both front and rear at the same is perfectly fine. And then I like to go to 10 on my rebound stiffness. And we'll go next. For suspension geometry, we want to max out our roll center heights. We'll max out both of those. We'll leave the squat body itself. And, well, it looks like the body kit did not give me front arrow adjustment. So we will go ahead and set the rear at 75. I'm going to leave the downforce on the front where it's at because I'm going to go back and get rid of the body kit and make some adjustments here in just a moment. Brake, we want to go about 48, and I've been running about 92. I do run the assists. I'm not the greatest driver in the world, but 92, 93 seems to work well for me. Differential, I've gotten to where I am using what the individual that other video used, which was 36 and 16. And steering wheel, we're not going to alter. Yes, I'm on using my controller right now for doing the setup, but when we get back to actually running it, I'll go ahead and run with the steering wheel. Okay, so since we need to make that adjustment and fix that front end, we need to go get rid of the car up some, so that's worthwhile. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, it did put us at 3158. Let's see what else, what weirdness happened there. Okay, so they did modify our tires. That's what did. We'll max all that stuff out. Make sure that our rim sizes are where we want them. Okay, that they are. Alright, and we'll be able to, well, okay, and took a weight reduction out as well. Okay, so we'll go back to the 72 on that. That took all kinds of stuff out. And that left us the same on those. Alright, so let's go back and we will go find us some uglier wheels here that will help us get to our 700 PI. And I think those will do for us. Puts us at a weight of 3,000 pounds, 489, 342, so that gives us that's not too bad. Alright, so we will max all that. Or select all of that, I should say. Alright, now we're going to check our tuning. That stayed, that stayed. Okay, and we want to max out our downforce on the front of the car. And left everything else alone. Okay. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to help keep that front end planted as much as possible. Alright, going to hop back to the wheel. And we are going to test drive. Let's go to Virginia. Go to the full course. Set it to be clear. Alrighty. And she is noisy. So far everything seems pretty good. Back end is just a touch loose. Gearing looks to be pretty good. looking solid. Run that could need to use hard tires, I will go ahead and pass because that's kind of the worst case scenario for the most part. Alright, we'll come back in here to help tune, and like I said, that rear end was a little bit loose, and I am going to go ahead and bring that up just a touch. We seem to be doing pretty good coming out of the corners, so I don't think I'm going to tweak my differentials at all or anything else. I think it's just that one little tweak. And let's see how she feels with those hard tires underneath her. That will probably cause me to make some other changes, but we'll see. And then you see that she got a little loose on me there. Kind of wanted to break loose and go a little sideways. And this is where I'm going to see if my gearing, how close my gearing is to where I want it. I shouldn't hit the rev limiter, but I should come awful close. And that's what I did. Okay, so that tail end is still just a little loose on me, and she's wanting to push a little bit through the middle of my corners. There's lots of different things you can do to tune that in. I'm going to do a couple of different things. I'm going to bring the anti-rolls down to 38 and 3950 and give it a couple more clicks on ride height on both front and rear. It did push a little more coming out of the corner, so I am going to put that down to 35. Alrighty, let's see how she feels. And our acceleration is looking pretty good across the board. And I did not brake early enough. I was paying attention to my shifting and how the car was feeling and not where I was. Alright, now we're going to try to put in a good lap, see where we are. Alright, 204 is not horrible. Not the best that I've had in A class, but I can already tell you that part of that is the gearing on this car. Like I said earlier, I was not happy having the second gear all the way up to 78. So we are going to go ahead and bring that down. Let's see here. Bring it down to 65. It's going to be a big... Alrighty guys, welcome back. For whatever reason my Xbox decided to drop my live stream. So we just made that gearing change and we're going to hop back in here and let's see how this does. Alright, that looks like it's going to put second gear about where I need it, and we still get pretty solid acceleration in third, so we're going to go ahead and leave these all there. Fourth and fifth are still climbing well, and so is sixth. this, we will save our tune. And I've just started calling my tunes meta for now. Alrighty. And we will go and do our test here. We'll drop back to the rivals. And go to A class. Find Virginia. We will go on full. And I know the Scirocco was not one of my best cars. I didn't like the way that it handled per se. So let's hop in here. We will find our Supra. Oh, there she is. Now, as you could tell when I looked at the leaderboards earlier, guys, I'm not the best driver in the world, but I do tune a good car. Alright, fuel and tires, soft 5% is what we want. Alrighty, let's see what we can do. Alright, and right off the bat, I'm going to skip that first lap. There we go. Alright, well, I am grateful that I got that out of my system right off the bat. Got to looking at my speed and not up my corner and screwed that up good. Okay, so I turned a 2 even. Generally, I'm not surprised that I didn't beat Justin's time. because Justin is usually 5 seconds faster than me a lap on my better days. So that did set a new record for me. I'm wanting to say that cut, what, 3-4 seconds off of my time with my other fast car. And let's look at that. So in amongst my friends, yes, that did set my new fast lap. And to not be anywhere close to those three, that doesn't surprise me in the least. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And feel free to leave me comments, leave me messages, and we will have the backup copy of this put on our YouTube channel so that people can take a look at it and learn what they can. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, my name's Chris. I'm with KFCHEsports, and we will see you all soon.